Camping does not belong in Call of Duty. So yeah, this is definitely a topic that's been talked about for a while in the Call of Duty community because there's a lot of people who think camping is by far the worst thing about Call of Duty's multiplayer, and it's been something that's been going on for years on end because camping is just a very popular playstyle. So you also have that part of the community that thinks it's okay, thinks it's just part of the game, that's just how some people play. And then you have the people who complain about camping all the time, but then they do it themselves because they realize it's the best way for them to stay on long kill streaks. And it definitely is different depending on the COD. There's some CODs that make camping very easy, some that make it a lot harder, some where you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage by camping, whereas other games, you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage for trying to rush and not camping. And it really depends on a bunch of different factors like the time to kill, the map design, and different mechanics and features within the game, and also just the Call of Duty community as a whole at that point in time. For some reason, I've noticed that going back to older Call of Duties, everyone camps in them. Like, people complain about the current CODs always being very campy. Try going back to Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, even Black Ops 2, some of the most beloved Call of Duties of all time. You try going back to them today, for some reason the enemies just don't know how to move, and I don't know why that is. It might be just a case of the people who are still playing those older games are just not very good and they don't really know how to traverse the maps properly, or they're just boring players and just like to sit in the back of the map and wait for enemies to come to them for some weird unknown reason. I've personally never understood the reason for camping because to me it's very boring. I like to be rushing around the map and getting a lot of kills, and there's no way you're going to get a ton of kills by camping. Yes, you might keep a good KD, you might go like, I don't know, 10-2 or something, but I would prefer to go like 50-30. It's not going to be as good of a KD as being 10-2, but it's also getting 50 kills as opposed to getting 10 kills. It's a lot more fun to be rushing around the map and going in and out of buildings rather than just sitting in the same room for like half the match, just picking off people from a window. That's not fun to me. Regardless if my KD is going to be good, I don't care. That's just not a fun playstyle. But before we jump into why I think camping doesn't belong in Call of Duty, let's just talk about what camping actually is, because there's this massive misconception as to what camping is, which I think causes a lot of concern in the COD community because people always say that there's a lot of camping in pretty much every COD. I mean, I've never heard a Call of Duty where people haven't complained about camping. Even the advanced movement games like Black Ops 3 that really doesn't really have much support for camping at all, but people still complain about it because people don't really understand what it is. Going into a power position for like 15 seconds just to pick someone off from a window, that is not camping. Camping would be sitting in the same place, aiming down sights at the same lane or the same location, waiting for an enemy to come by. If you know there's an enemy out there right down by that power position, and you want to get to that power position, which you can call it a camping spot as well, you can call it whatever you want, and you go there to get a better position on them so you can shoot them and end them, that is not camping. You're not camping there. You're not staying in that spot. Also, if that power position is in the middle of the map and it's a big power position with a lot of ways in, a lot of windows, and you kind of stay in that general vicinity for like even a couple minutes, I don't think that's camping either. To me, camping has to be one tiny location, one place. There's not many ways in, not many ways out, and you're sitting there waiting for kills. Whereas if you're in a power position that's in the middle of the map, you might have a sight line of like the whole map. What comes to mind is the map Echelon. So Echelon is a brand new map from Cold War, and it has this really large circle-shaped area in the middle of the map where you can effectively use it as a power position for pretty much the whole map. You can pick people off of both spawns, and there's been many games where I've been chilling in that little area, going back and forth from the windows, picking people off. I don't consider that camping because it's not like it's a distinct spot where I'm waiting for people to come. Rather, I can see everyone in that area, and it's a really wide open space with a lot of ways in. To me, that's not camping. That's not going to ruin the flow of the gameplay because I'm in the middle of the map and I'm not playing an objective-based mode that forces me to leave that spot like Hardpoint. If I was playing Hardpoint and the hardpoint was on the other side of the map, then yeah, sitting in that same area is kind of problematic and will definitely ruin some of the flow of the gameplay. So, Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the actual problem with camping and why I don't think it belongs in Call of Duty. My issue with camping has never been that it's annoying to die by campers. I honestly don't care that much. If I die by a camper, it's whatever. It's not the end of the world. There's a lot of ways to stop campers. You can toss concussions in there unless they got trophy systems, but regardless, especially if it's a slower time to kill Call of Duty, I can get in that spot pretty easily and probably effectively take them out. There's usually more than one pathway into different spots around the map. It's not the end of the world. But the issue with the people camping is that it ruins the flow of the gameplay. So if you have an enemy team camping, let's say in the back of their spawn, now you have this weird feeling of the gameplay where you're only gonna see enemies when you're deep in their spawn. You could be, effectively circling around your entire area and even the middle of the map, and you won't find a single person until you get into their area. That ruins the flow. The flow should be people running back and forth, spawns flipping, depending on the mode, of course. If you're playing TDM, you're definitely going to see a lot more spawn flipping. Domination, you see people running for the B flag. That is what makes the gameplay fun and replayable. Hardpoint, obviously, everyone goes for the hardpoints. But in terms of people just sitting in the back of the map, or not even the back of the map, but just different camping spots where they're not really using it as a power position, more so they're just sitting in a corner waiting for someone to walk through the door so they can put a couple bullets into them, especially in the faster time to kill Call of Duties, which is why camping is so much worse in the faster time to kill CODs. They can effectively camp so much easier because someone walks through that door, they don't even have to try and they can easily take them out. But if it was slower, they're going to have a little bit better accuracy and to actually maintain that kill. And I think most players who are better than other people who are camping could probably take them out effectively. And you might be saying, well, that's okay. Sometimes Call of Duty can be slow. There's nothing wrong with a slow-paced match. And yeah, you can have that opinion all you want, but at the end of the day, a lot of people prefer the faster-paced movement simply because we don't have all day long to be playing this damn game. We just don't. And a big part of Call of Duty is getting kills as fast as possible to level up weapons, to get camo unlocks, to get attachment unlocks, whatever it may be. A big part of Call of Duty revolves around getting as many kills as humanly possible. You can't do that if you're looking around the map for 10 minutes and you can barely find more than a couple players. It's just not replayable in that way. I went back to World at War and I'm just like, why can't I level up that fastly? And then I realized because I'm getting maybe 20 kills per match on a map like CeeLo, because the map is so damn big and it's 6v6 and the whole entire enemy team is either in a tank or camping in the back of the map in that little cabin. So of course I'm not going to get many kills that match because people are camping everywhere. It takes away the flow of the gameplay, and it's not about me not being good enough to take out campers. It's simply that I have to literally traverse the entire map to get to them, which is why camping is never as big of a deal on smaller maps like Nuketown. I've heard a lot of people call maps like Nuketown campy, but Nuketown really can't be campy. Just because someone's sitting in their window does not automatically make it campy. It's so easy to take them out of that spot, especially in a game like Cold War. You can easily traverse into their house because it's not that far away and go up the stairs and take them out, and regardless, there's a bunch of other people on that little tiny map that are going to be running around regardless. So the gameplay flow is just going to work. You can easily flip the spawns, you can easily change how the map is going, but on bigger maps, especially in games like Modern Warfare 2019, you just can't control that. People can camp wherever they want, and you're finding yourself not being able to find an enemy for a long time. And when you eventually do find it, if it is one of those faster time to kill CODs, especially like Modern Warfare 2019, even when the footsteps are really loud, they know you're coming. They know you're coming, and they know that you're right there, and they only have to put 2 shots into you to kill you anyways. So they wait till you walk in that window or door or whatever, and they shoot you and they kill you, and you're done. And there's nothing you can do about it. To me, that ruins flow of gameplay. To me, that makes COD not as enjoyable, and that is why I think camping does not have a good place in Call of Duty, as much as some of the developers sometimes say it does, and they want that playstyle to be effective for some players, and I understand why they want that to be, because some players are not very good and need spots to kind of hide for a little bit to kind of, take a breather and such, but that's just, no, they can do that without having an advantage by camping is what I'm trying to say. You can have a couple spots here and there, just like any map has. Every map has camping spots, but if you make it so them camping in that spot is going to give them an effective advantage over the enemy team, that creates camping, and then that creates bad gameplay flow. And that is why I think slower time to kills, map design that doesn't have a million flank routes with a million different safe spaces. I think a couple spaces here and there is fine, but when you have a bunch of them, It gives them way too many options, and it's way too hard to tell exactly where they are, especially if they're sitting in the corner, not moving a single muscle, and when the footsteps are loud as hell and you don't have dead silence, it makes it even worse. This is why Modern Warfare 2019 is by far the campiest Call of Duty of all time, as well as Call of Duty Ghosts, for these exact reasons. The map design, the time to kill, and a lot of other features and factors within the game just play into that. That is the end of this rant. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will see you all in my next one. Peace out.